Hello, Romans.
Today, we will be looking at the long and notorious career of everyone's least favorite emperor, Tiberius Augustus. So far, Tiberius has been a terrible leader with no passion for government who calls senators men fit to be slaves. We are here to show you plebes the truth on Tiberius' reign and his pitiful personal life.
Let's pull up the stats, shall we? Suetonius calls him a man perfectly proportioned from top to toe.
Well, Cass, let's not forget, Tiberius' military career began when he was just 12 years old, after riding the triumphal chariot of Augustus at the Battle of Actium.
You think with all this experience you'd be an effective leader, especially seeing as his adoptive father, Augustus, conquered Spain, Portugal, Bavaria, Austria, Hungary, and parts of Africa. So what the heck is wrong with this guy?
Great question, Christmas, and I think it can be easily answered by looking at his past relations to Rome. Many Romans don't think he has the love for Rome that an emperor requires. His approach is entirely too standoffish.
Not to mention Tiberius' seriously screwed up personal life. Augustus, his stepfather, the last emperor, relied on him when all the options for male heirs to power died. I mean, Augustus' grandson died, his nephew, and his best friend. Augustus was determined to keep the power within his influence after he stepped down or died, and he had always treated Tiberius like a son.
Augustus is one power-hungry guy. Let's take a look at his actions and decide what put Tiberius in power and why he sucks so much now.
Well, first Augustus married Tiberius' mom. Although Augustus groomed Tiberius as his heir, he ended up insulting him by placing 3 blood relatives and friends before Tiberius. He forced Tiberius to divorce his beloved wife and marry his daughter Julia instead. She was exiled for adultery, and he let her starve to death. So far, his children had died, he had left the woman he loved, and he hated his job. He told the Senate he didn't want to be emperor, but Augustus made him take the laurel crown and the titles associated with the job.
Wow, it sounds like Tiberius had a hard life. Maybe we shouldn't be knocking on him so much after all. I mean, sure, he's a terrible leader, but you don't think he's better than some of the leaders we've had? I mean, I know y'all remember Tarquinius Superbus. He had some pretty bad stats and terrible performance on the field.
Are you kidding? Tiberius' past doesn't explain why he's such a weirdo. Rumors have it that he hates gladiatorial games. He's not even trying to win the people of Rome.
He hasn't gained a yard for the Empire the entire season. He has the strategy smarts, but he's not applying them where it counts. I heard he's afraid of thunder. He must have a guilty conscience with Jupiter.
Alright, that's enough from the senatorial sidelines. Let's take it down to the field after this short commercial break.
Welcome back to SenateCenter in front of our live studio audience. Now, where were we?
Tiberius has been making the headlines of Roman tablets for his commands about stepping down. So far, he has exiled and starved all of his relatives that he is afraid will kill him.
He hasn't put in the time training like he should have if he wants to play in the big leagues. Big dogs out there are just going to rip him to bits if he doesn't put in the time at the weight room, or temple.
Currently we have Tiberius addressing his fans/captive audience. We have Ignoramus down there in the field to see what it's like. Ignoramus, what's the atmosphere like down there?
Well, it seems Tiberius is making an announcement that he's going to take vacation and step down as emperor. Let's get in on the action.
Hello, Romans. I am stepping down as emperor. Gonna go on vacation. Alright, well. Okay.
What in Jupiter's good name?
It certainly seems like there's some electricity down there, Ignoramus. Tiberius needs to step down from the league. He's dedicated his whole life to the sport, and it's time to let the younger, more able players take the stage.
That ends our segment on Tiberius. Remember, you heard it first on SenateCenter.
We'll be right back with American Gladiators.
In this year, 37 AD, we are getting information that our favorite stick in the mud, Tiberius Julius Caesar Augustus, is dead.
I'm back! I'm not dead. I'm not dead.
This is huge news for the world of sports. Tiberius died this morning at the age of 77. He was suffering of old age and seemed near death. A crowd formed outside of his house, cheering and generally rejoicing. They fell silent when they learned that he was at the verge of recovery, but luckily, his heir, Caligula, smothered him with a pillow. Here is some footage from the scene.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead.
You know, that is really sad. Tiberius may have been an on and off player, but he certainly doesn't deserve the death of a criminal. Rumors have been circulating that Tiberius's two heirs, Caligula, aged 25, and Gemellus, his infant grandson, have already had it out. Caligula has ordered the execution of Gemellus, which is set for this Monday night during the Celtics game. Caligula has also already announced his intentions to spend all 2.7 million sesterces on Tiberius's fortune on cream puffs. This is truly the end of an era for Rome. You know what this warrants? A top 5 countdown of Tiberius's worst moments as emperor. Here to start you off, Tiberius himself.
Number 5. That time I cried over Vipsania in the Forum.
Number 4. That time Pliny the Elder called me the gloomiest man.
Number 3. That time my crazy advisor, Sejanus, tried to take over Rome. Number 2. That time I gave a speech about how being emperor is dumb. Number 1. That time Augustus begged me to be emperor.
I'm not dead.
I love making these hats. These hats. Love making these hats. They're so complex.
Just a tad. Can't see a damn thing.
And you put them on your head, wear them as a hat. Just leaves in a circle, wear them as a hat.